And now taking a look at the right-hand side of the screen here, you guys have probably been watching the live stream, and thank you guys so much for that. What are those players doing over there, Duster? Like, what's Bedard, Fantilli without his picture doing over there? Carlson, Huberto, what are you going to talk about them for? These are some breakout players that I think are going to have pretty interesting years, good or bad. And I think that we should highlight these guys to kind of put on your whiteboard, put on your pinup sheet, put on your notes for potential even bets this upcoming season as watch list players. So we'll call this the watch list. This will be edition 1 of the watch list. And these are the 6 players we will watch for. And honestly, what we can do is we can make this kind of a monthly thing of a watch list. But this is a preseason watch list, and we'll have another one next week of players that I'm really keen in on and intrigued to see what they can do. Obviously, Connor Bedard is at the top of the list. We all know what he has done. Helps if I spell his name right, Bedard. Just doing the first couple initials. I don't know why he's not popping up. Probably because he doesn't technically have any stats in the NHL. But we'll pull him up here. Connor Bedard. Helps if I spell his name right. So here he is. Connor Bedard had a very good game in his preseason debut at home. Let's see if we can maybe pull up Connor Bedard's stats. Is it going to pull it up here? Oh, wow. They have career stats. So that's pretty cool here. So just taking a look at just his Regina Pats stats. So his year 1, 28 points, 15 games played, double exceptional status. That's kind of insane. Regina Pats year 2, 62 games played, 100 points. That's absolutely insane. Also, one thing to note, he was +0. +0. So he was playing on a pretty poor defensive team, which will probably be the case this year with the Chicago Blackhawks. And his final year, Regina Pats, 57 games played, 143 points, +39. So a little bit better. I know they made the playoffs and they were knocked out, and it overall was a much better team. But what am I expecting from Connor Bedard this year? I don't have any future bets or anything on him at the moment. Let's pull up Cap Friendly and take a look at the team that he is working with. And it's going to be really interesting to see what they do with the lineup that they have. Now, again, I know they brought in Taylor Hall. They brought in Foligno. They brought in Perry. They brought in a lot of guys. Blackwell, they've got in there. Radishy, they've got in there. On the back end, I don't think they necessarily brought in anyone that I can remember. Mrazek, Soderblom, they've got their goalies. They're not very deep whatsoever. But what can Connor Bedard do with this team? What is the limit to his potential? Is it going to be worth watching Chicago Blackhawk games? And I'll answer that really quickly and say 100% yes. You're going to want to tune in. This is a once-in-a-lifetime type player, just like Connor McDavid. I almost said Bedard, but just like Connor McDavid, Connor Bedard is that next face of the league. He is that next superstar. Yes, he is a little bit smaller. His play style is a little different. He's got a crazy good toe pull shot. His hands are unreal. Vision is great. I'm sure you guys saw the stats or saw the highlights the other night in that game at home at the United Center. Had 2 assists in that game, and he's like, I didn't have a good game. Hope to bounce back. Dude knows how to talk to the media. Overall, yes, I'm intrigued to see what he can do with points this upcoming season. Will he have 60? I think 60 is kind of like the threshold of a super elite rookie in his first full year in the league. Will he have over 60 points? I think the answer is yes. If he can stay healthy, I think the answer is yes, regardless of the team that you see on this page that he has to play with. Now, it's not knocking them that they're just going to be absolutely terrible. They suck. The Blackhawks, get rid of them. No. Well, yes, they're a glorified bottom line, bottom of the table NHL team. But they have one of the most exciting players in the league, and that's why I've got him on my preseason watch list as a must-watch player. Anytime the Blackhawks are on, if you get NHL Network, if you get ESPN Plus with their games, turn on the game. I don't care what time it is. Watch Connor Bedard. If you can even see him in person, I think that would be pretty sick too. So any chance you get to watch Bedard, be sure to do so, because this guy on a nightly basis could produce some magic. Again, if he can stay healthy, learn from those veterans such as Hall, Athanasiou, Foligno, Perry. If he can learn from those guys and have a good year doing it, I think sky's the limit for him in the future of the Blackhawks, just not this year. I think they need another pretty down year, get another high draft pick, and build through the draft. But it will be super fun to watch Bedard. And on that note, second player on the list, as you guys can see, is Adam Fantilli. Now, again, another exciting player, was taken third in the draft, because I know what's-his-face was taken, Carlson. Leo Carlson was taken by the Ducks, number 2. Or am I getting them confused? I think he was taken number 2. But Fantilli is another exciting player. Oh, that's Chicago Blackhawks roster. I don't want the Blackhawks roster. I want Adam Fantilli. Let's see what his stats are and if they'll show it for the University of Michigan. He only did play the 1 year, won the Hobie Baker, true freshman, all that good stuff. 36 games played, 65 points. Absolutely crazy stuff. Yes, the University of Michigan was an absolutely stacked university team. They didn't even win the Frozen Four, which is another crazy stat line. But he is definitely legit. They are saying he clocks in at 6'2", 195. Dude has speed. He's got the skill. He's got the shot. He's got that gritty type play to him. He's not afraid to get dirty in the corners and in front of the net and go to those dirty areas. It's just a matter of fact of, can he do that and hold up in the NHL and the style of play and the big bruising bodies that he's going to be going against in the NHL. Again, that line of 60, will he be above or below that? I think he'll be below that a little bit given the team that he is playing on. Now, maybe he gets first line minutes and he gets above 60 points. Maybe he gets hurt, is out for 15 to 20 games and doesn't get 50 points. Who knows? Sky's the limit, but he could be playing with Gaudreau, Laine, Roslovic, Jenner, Corrali, Texier, and Kent Johnson, Marchenko. There's a lot of good players on this Columbus team, and they're going to be fun to watch. They're definitely not going to be an easy out this year. So it'd be interesting to see who he actually plays with and if they can garner that and develop that chemistry. I have him on the watch list for that reason or another. Exciting rookie prospect that is going to make the team. And I really do hope he plays with Kent Johnson, get the Michigan boys playing together. Not necessarily from Michigan, but Michigan University playing together. That would be super, super fun to watch and see them play together. Next player on the list, I know we talked about him briefly in passing as we talked about the Stanley Cup line pick there, and that is Evan Bouchard. Plays on an absolutely stacked NHL team. Let's see here. Bouch. Where is he? Let's just do... Oh, nope. Didn't want that. Let's get him pulled up a better way. Here he is, Evan Bouchard. So last year he put up 40 points in 82 games played. Now you might be like, well, that's not crazy. Year before that, 43 in 22. I think last year was kind of a feeling out year for him and getting used to being that top offensive defenseman. And this is kind of the first full year that he is the man. Now, I think he'll have over 10 goals this year. I think he'll have over 50 points, and that'll take him, or 50 assists, so that would take him to 60-ish points. So again, the line is 60. Will he get over 60 or below 60? I think he'll be just a bit over that. I think their power play will still be historic. They won't be as good as they were last year, but they'll be at least top 8 in the NHL, and he'll be the top point man on the power play, leading that, feeding the puck to the guys such as McDavid, Hyman, Draisaitl, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, and again, all those guys, it's like, well, they can put the puck in the back of the net. Sneaky thing is, this guy has an absolute rocket of a shot too. And if you listen to Spit and Chicklets, right, when he's like, oh, this guy's great, he's so good, he's the next up-and-coming offensive defenseman, and I can see it. They're watching his tape, watching his film, watching his games. He has that sneaky ability and that awesome shot at the point that if teams kind of start playing off him and give him that chance to shoot the puck, he's going to make them pay and put it in the back of the net. So I think over-under, definitely we can put that line at 60. He's going to hit the over on 60 points this year, whether it's 10 goals, 50 assists, 15 goals, 45 assists, whatever combination you want. I think he will be above 60 points. He is a watch list player for me this upcoming season on a very, very good, very top-heavy Edmonton Oilers hockey club. So look out for him. He's going to be a fun one. And I know this next player we talked about a little bit about his goals and where we think he's going to finish, so we won't spend too much time on him, and that is Barbashev. This guy, I mean, again, we talked about him in the segment before this, but this guy is going to be off the charts good. He can throw the body around. He can go to the front of the net. He can go in the corners, get the puck out, win those battles. I'm sure he'd even be willing to drop the gloves. Dude can lay the lumber. He's a big lumbering guy. He's only 6 foot and barely 200 pounds. But dude, he plays bigger than that. It's kind of weird, but it's so much fun to watch. It was exciting to watch him in the playoffs last year. Can he bring that same intensity to the regular season is kind of what I'm thinking. Could be the only thing that would hold him back from that is if he's playing that style of game night in and night out. Will that just wear him down and kind of take him out of it? Will he only play, let's say, 72 games because he's injured, because the bumps and bruises that he's taking from throwing his body around? Who knows? But this guy definitely has skill. He's got a shot. He goes to the dirty areas to get those juicy rebounds. He can move the puck. He's got vision. He's a very solid second line, border first line player. If injuries happen, he can definitely step in on that first line and be a huge help. I think for him, again, 60 points would be great. I think that is doable. I think it is going to happen, and look at the team he's playing with. Just absolutely stacked. Eichel, Stone, Carlson, Marchessault, Waugh, Stevenson, Howden, Carrier, Kolesar, and then it kind of drops off after that. But on the back end, Pietrangelo, Martinez, Theodore, McNabb, Whitecloud, Haig, Hutton, and Paschal. And then Hill, Thompson between the pipes. Dude's going to be playing top probably 25 minutes a night. What did he average last year? 17. What did he average in the playoffs? I'm intrigued. 15:33. I think we can see him anywhere from 15 to 18 minutes this upcoming regular season, 100%. Look out for this guy. He's going to be absolutely awesome, and that is another reason why I have him on my right-hand side here for watch list players for this upcoming season. We're still doing good on time. Erik Karlsson is the next one. Now, again, you might be like, well, he had a great year last year, and he was the number one defenseman in the league, and why would you even consider him to be a watch list player? Well, because he is a top player in the league, top defenseman in the league last year, won the Norris Trophy. Dude is absolutely insane. Now, my biggest watch list item and why I have him on that list, I suppose a few things. One, Penguins are my favorite team. Intriguing that they got a top defenseman in the league. So that's one reason. Two, that whole moving factor. Some players are able to make the move, new team, new area for not only his day-to-day that he's used to doing, but for his family. How does that mesh? How does that then affect him in his on-ice play? Because obviously we know what he did last year, and that was just utterly amazing. 101 points in 82 games played, 25 goals, 76 assists, led their team, led the league in defensive scoring. Dude was just absolutely great. After a bunch of seasons where he was riddled with injuries, never got anything above 50 points ever since going to the San Jose Sharks, except that last year. So coming over to a team that statistically is one of the oldest teams in the league. They are the oldest team in the league. I think their average age is the average age of their team is 33 or something like that. It's really old, but he's got that pep in his step again. He's playing on a better team. He's playing with Crosby, Malkin, Letang, Gensel, Raquel. He's playing with great players. And he definitely remembers the Pittsburgh Penguins and cutting his dreams short of going to the Stanley Cup Finals. Does he see a future with this team that, yep, they've got their window's 2 more years, and I've got a chance to win a cup? Is that the main reason he said yes and wanted to come to Pittsburgh? in the back of my mind, I think, yes, that is the main reason he wanted to come to Pittsburgh, because he believes that not only he can be successful, but he has a chance at winning a Stanley Cup. So I'm interested to see what he can do this upcoming season. I don't think he's going to get 100 points. There's no way he gets 100 points. But I think realistically, 75 to 85, I think is a realistic number for him this upcoming season. I've got him on my watch list because I'm intrigued to see what he does on a new team with a chance and reinvigoration of, I got a chance at a Stanley Cup here. So should be fun to watch him. And then we've got one more player on the list, and that's a guy who, kind of we talked about it with Carlson, but he already went through it, is that move. How do you spell his name? H-U-B. Oh, put an I in there for some reason. We'll get the search. Jonathan Huberdeau. He had a poor year last year after coming out of Florida, absolutely killing it. The last 4 years with the Panthers, 92, 78, 61, 115 points. That's kind of insane. He's played 750 games. He's got 668 points. So he's close to almost, not necessarily close, but close to 100 a point per game. He's close to 500 assists. Last year, not very good. 55 points in 79 games played. He came from Florida to Calgary. Massive change in culture. Massive change in living situations. Came into a very bad situation where the team was kind of in a limbo year of Daryl Sutter's kind of going crazy. We're probably going to lose our GM. We've got expectations to make the playoffs, but it kind of rests on your shoulders. So good luck. We're also, we're going to play you in a position that you typically don't play. So good luck. That's just a recipe for a disaster to happen. And it did. 55 points in 79 games played. Not very good. I expect a full-blown bounce back for this guy. He is an elite player on a pretty good team, I would say. When we take a look at the Calgary Flames, let's pull them up here. They're pretty solid. Huberdeau, Kadri, Majapane, Backlund, new captain for the Calgary Flames, Coleman, Lindholm, Sharangovich, Dubé, and then kind of drops after there. Peltier, going to be interesting to watch him this year. Back end, Uyghur, Hanifin, Anderson, Tanev, Zadorov, and then it kind of drops off after that. Goaltending, Markstrom, Vladar. Pretty solid tandem, if Markstrom has a bounce back year as well. But with that team, you would expect Huberdeau to not only be able to create his own offense, but being able to kind of feed off of his teammates and getting assists. He's more of a playmaker anyways, as opposed to a goal-scoring machine. As you can see, 213 goals to 455 assists throughout his career. So I'd say more so playmaker than sniper. He can't put the puck where he wants. But I'm intrigued to see where he goes this year, because I think the Calgary Flames will only go as far as Huberdeau can take them. If he has a solid year, look out for the Flames. If he has another year where it's like, he's still trying to find himself up there, it could be a tough year for the Flames. I've got them potential playoff team. But again, I think it falls on his shoulders, and that's why I've got him as a watch list player of, man, if this guy's playing, throw on the game because it should be a good one. I expect a full-blown bounce-back year. I'm expecting, 85-plus points for Jonathan Huberdeau. That might be a hot take, but I think it's going to be a good one for him this year. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments about all of these watch list players that are on the screen right above me. Let me know what you guys think. Is there anyone else we should add or consider to add for next week's edition of the watch list? Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments of this video, and we will definitely be sure to discuss and talk about that together.